Next, beginning with phthalo blue and phthalo green, I'll lay in the base colors of the distant shoreline trees. Like when I painted in the mountain base colors, I'll wet everything below the shoreline. I'll get close to the shoreline with a spray bottle, then I'll wet the paper right up to the shoreline edge with a water-soaked brush. As I go across the shoreline with my 1/2-inch flat brush, I try and alternate between the phthalo blue and phthalo green, occasionally introducing some pure yellow. I don't want a solid green wall along the shoreline. That would be uninteresting. I like to keep the colors mixed. In fact, I'll add some burnt sienna too, blending the colors right on the paper. While the row of trees is still wet, I'll add a few dashes of darker values, a richer mix of phthalo blue and phthalo green. And when I've got the look that I want, I'll give it another dry. Before I paint in the ocean, I'll need to paint in the beach. Yet one more time, I'll saturate everything below the distant shoreline. I don't need to saturate right up to the shoreline. Close is fine, so the spray bottle alone will do this for me. Once saturated, I'll tip the painting onto its side again like when I painted in the sky. And with some burnt sienna and my 2-inch flat brush, I'll lay some color on the beach area, letting the colors run down into the ocean area. I'll mix in some yellow. And I'll mix in some rose. Now some ultramarine blue. And once again, burnt sienna. You can see that I'm letting these colors mix right on the paper. I try not to overwork them, preferring to let them do their own thing on the wet paper. Yet another less is more situation, which is so often the case with watercolors. When I've got the blend that I want, I add salt. This creates a great textured look, which works well for the sand and rocks, but the timing is somewhat crucial. You want to apply the salt just before the wetted area loses its shine of wetness. Then I'll pick up the excess with a tissue and a thirsty brush. Some of the areas where I had sprinkled salt were too wet, so I'll add more now that these areas are drier. Then I'll lock all the colors in with a blow dryer.